In the previous videos, we mentioned about the typical structures of technical writing, which include the journals papers and the thesis or dissertations. The sequence of the structures are rather typical, which include the title, abstract, introductions, literature review, methodology, result and analysis, as well as the conclusions and references. From hereafter, we're going to discuss in detail every single sections of this structure. Let us start with the title. The title is a statement that describes the technical writing. It will be the first thing that the reader will observe, which is normally placed in the first page and at the highest positions. Normally, the titles are highlighted using a slightly larger font size and normally being bold. This is so that the reader can quickly observe the title before start reading the technical writing. The title is very important as it provides very brief introductions to the content of the technical writing. The title shouldn't be very long, typically in the range of 10 to 12 words. Some may be shorter and some may be longer. Although long title is normally not preferable, as it defeats the purposes of quickly providing the ideas to the reader regarding the content of the paper. Due to the limited numbers of words for the title, it needs to be carefully constructed. The usage of the words needs to be very precise in order not to mislead the reader. Another thing that you would like to know about the title is that the reader treats the title as one of the criteria to filter the content of the technical writing. By just reading the title, the reader can more or less grab the ideas within the technical writing. That will be the first layer of the filtrations. The reader needs to decide whether the content as implied by the title relevant to their research study. Therefore, in the process of the literature survey, it is quite normal for the papers being opted out from the list of the reference purely decided on basis of the titles. Therefore, you will need to construct the title carefully and, if possible, try to make the title as interesting as possible. This is to encourage the reader to proceed with the reading with your technical writing. Now let us look at the typical components of the title. There will be purpose, topic, and the focus. Here are some examples of the titles in accordance to their components. The purpose here provides information regarding the type of the research or the purpose of the research study, whether it is in the mode of analysis, providing an overview, giving a discussions, or performing an evaluations. The second component will be the topic. That will be the main topics or main subjects that you intend to study. It establishes the field of the study as well as the major content of your paper. This is of course at a slightly broader aspect as compared to the focus. The focus will be more refined within the boundary of the topic, drawing attention to a certain emphasis within the topic. You may observe the example given here to have a better ideas of the components of the title. You may also mimic the structures of the title while constructing your own title in accordance to your topic, and then refine it further to the focus of your study within the topic. It is also noted that you don't have to have the titles to following the three sequence here: purpose, title, and the focus. You will see some people construct the title starting with the topic, focus, and the purpose. This will be dependent on your purpose of your technical writing, as well as your intentions, which part of the title you would like to draw better attention from the reader. For more ideas of the title, you may search through the database for good impact factor journals, probably in the fields that are relevant to you, and observe how they construct their own title. This should give you some ideas how the relevant titles are constructed. There are some common mistakes while constructing the title, which are listed here. These include unspecific title, where the topics or the focus are not being made clear, and this could mislead the reader, providing wrong perceptions or impressions of the reader, which result in the expectations significantly deviated from your technical writing. The second mistake is the imprecise terminologies. It is related to improper usage of the terminologies, where the actual definitions deviated from your intended meaning. The definitions can be totally wrong, which is related to the inaccurate terminology, or sometimes the degree can be inaccurate. For example, some terminology may be obviously exaggerated or under-described. Therefore, the careful usage of the term is necessary. The next common mistake it will be insufficient information. When you are providing insufficient information, the reader cannot predetermine the topics that you are discussing. They will need to quickly browse through your technical writing to gain an idea whether your topic is relevant. The problem is, if the reader did not really go into your technical writing, most likely your paper will not be read, being grouped together with those considered irrelevant. Another common mistake is when your titles has too many nouns, too noun heavy. We encounter this kind of writing behavior quite often in academic writing, as most of the researchers are being trained to see the things in many aspects, to describe the thing as refined as possible, and to see many things to be important, even though it is very small item. Therefore, the research community are having the tendency of having certain specific terms to be described in a series of nouns, especially when we want to describe something. You need to be careful of this, especially in the title. When it is too noun heavy, the title becomes very difficult to digest. This will deter the imaginations of the reader trying to figure out the topics and the content that you intend to discuss, where most of their efforts are putting into interpreting those nouns. You do not wish to distract them or to confuse them. Therefore, it is always a good practice of you trying to make the titles as easily understood as possible. The next mistake, it will be unnecessary filler words. You know that the titles normally have the limited numbers of words. I would say that the title will be the statements in your entire technical writing, which is the most optimized as possible. You will find you spend more time polishing and trying and error your title as compared to any single sentence throughout your paper. You need to remove all the unnecessary words, eliminate the redundancy, as well as the non-meaningful words, as every single word in the titles counts. Another common mistake, it will be the acronyms, which is referring to an abbreviation form from the initial letters of each word and pronounced as a word, such as NASA and NASA. You know that there are many acronyms in the industry. The same acronym may mean totally different in different fields of study. Although you found those acronyms are quite common in your field of study, which you expect your readers to know that. However, the fact is, your readers can come from different fields of study. They may be in the same field of view, or may not be in the same field of view. Sometimes these acronyms may not be as common to the readers from different countries or regions. They may not be familiar with that, and they will need to guess what is it. This increases the burdens of the readers and defeat the purpose of having the title briefly written to give the reader an immediate idea regarding the technical writing. So what we have learned so far regarding the title, it will be the first sentence that the reader might read on your technical writing. It's going to be the most optimal statement within your technical writing. It should be easily understood. There will be limited numbers of words. The titles needs to be constructed in a very specific and precise manner, and should carry sufficient information to give ideas to the reader regarding the topics for your technical writing. Knowing the purpose and the characteristic of the title, you should avoid any practices that can lead to the confusions or misunderstanding of the reader regarding the topics of your technical writing.